again, I believe you use your self-directed IRA and with a non-recourse loan on top of that. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Now, Brian, I mean, I really, my recollection was that you went through a lot. Anybody, it took you much longer than normally it takes to close a transaction. One thing I really admire you, Brian, that you overcame everything. You did not give up, right? You know, a lot of investors would have said, "Oh, 9 months, the house still haven't been built. You know, I'm gonna cancel. I'm gonna walk away from it. I'm gonna give up." But I've been watching you the entire time, right? I mean,
right.
Not physically, but
yeah.
and I kept noticing, wow, Brian, he's sticking it in. He's not quitting. He want to make it work. And then when Justin, our network realtor, introduced you to the second builder, and you jump on it, so you maintain the course. You want to make it happen. You have a positive experience. You didn't give up. And then so tell me what, you know, what was your mental state of being during the entire time where most people would have quit because of the time delays and all those kind of issues? Why did you able to maintain your course and continue to move forward? What was your mindset?
There were a few reasons. One reason is because they changed over to a builder who I knew the name of, which was D.R. Horton. So it's a pretty big name. So that was one of the reasons I said, okay, you know what? I'll go ahead and stick with this and go and see how this new builder does. And I talked with Justin about it too. And I said, okay, you know what? If this is going to go on longer, kind of like the last one did, then I can get out of this, right? And he said, yes, you can. So those were a few things that I asked him about, just because, you know, like you said, it had been a long time since I started getting involved with the property. But since I had been involved in it and invested in it for so long already, I wanted to make it work. So it's just the number of people out in Florida and the way the prices are out there now, and there was instant equity built in. Even when I made the purchase of the place, the day after the price went up to $209,500. So I already made $1,000 in equity before they even started constructing. And I knew material prices were going up. So I said, you know what, I'm going to lock in my price right now. And if for some reason it's not going to work, I can get out of it because, you know, I can. And you know, everything, it worked out. And even the estimated rent that they were targeting, it was more than what was anticipated at the beginning. So it's been positive. I guess it was just too much. I invested so much time into it that it was too much to kind of turn around. And also with the possibility of how much could be gained into the process, that I didn't want to have to start all over with a different property. I mean, it just seemed like I already put so much time into it that I just may as well see how well it goes with D.R. Horton and see if it'll work. And it did. So, and it has been, so.
Well, Brian, you made a very wise decision. You committed to the process. You did not give up, and so that's a very good lesson learned for many other real estate investors out there. So you are a blueprint for how people need to the attitude and the commitment you need to become a successful real estate investor. So you show the right mindset. So it's going to bode you well for the future. Now,
then working, like, you know, I was able to call you and talk to you when I had my concerns and stuff, and you were able to kind of walk me through those concerns. And, you know, then I started just kind of thinking different ways, like, okay, if I need to pull from a different IRA to pay down the property, I can do it that way. You know, just there are a lot of things that I could do to make it work if I had to. So.
Yeah, Brian, as you know, I mean, the concept, you know, the philosophy of my company is the Yi Real Estate Network. The word network is to me is very powerful, because you as an investor buying out of state is you know, if you do it by yourself, would be extremely, you know, just mind-blowing, scary. But you're surrounding yourself with a team. Myself as your go-to real estate advisor, and my team on the ground, Justin Zawodny and his company and his property management and a good builder, and then and all the people surrounding you. You're not doing alone. You're working as a team. So so that's the. I know we only have like less than 10 minutes, and I really appreciate your time. But the way you bought this property is a little bit different than most investors, right? So it'll take. I don't want to take 2 hours for you to explain how you did it, but from a high level, if you explain 5 or 7 minutes, let me start by saying that you purchased this $208,000 property with your individual retirement account, with your self-directed IRA. In addition to that, I trained you and I educated you about you should do it leveraging your IRA using a non-recourse loan. Yes. So you did not buy this $208,000 property with your $208,000 of cash IRA. You put how much down payment with the IRA, and what was the non-recourse loan amount did you leverage on this purchase?
So the non-recourse loan amount was $92,500. So I put the rest of it down, which is about $106,000, something like that. So it was about 51% I put down, 49% that was financed. I had other options and alternatives that I could have chosen, but this one just seemed like it made the most sense and probably in the long run, the best kind of numbers financially. I could have gone with a loan that was less, meaning I would have had to put more money down. But I think it just would have taken too much more time to try to pay that one down. So.
Yeah, I remember. You're looking over the non-recourse loan option. Mm-hmm. All different kind of loan options. I mean, it's so very, very, very technical. So once again, explain to the audience. I mean, it's very difficult to buy with IRA in the first place, but you add on to another component into the purchase, which is the non-recourse loan. So tell the audience, how did you overcome? Once again, all the technical paperwork, addressing the IRS Internal Revenue Service guidelines, and going through the non-recourse lender that we refer you to. I mean, how that all this paperwork you're able to overcome all this? Tell me.
Yeah, it was. So first, it was just kind of getting the contacts from you, and then I just kind of lined them up, and I knew I had to talk to the non-recourse lender. So that was kind of the first, after saying I want to purchase the property, then I was working with a non-recourse lender and making sure that they could do the financing for it. And if they came back and said yes, then, we were on our way forward to going ahead and making this work. And then we signed the property, and then the non-recourse lender had to go ahead and make sure that, given all the specs with the property, that it was going to work out okay. So I worked with Justin on getting that back to the non-recourse lender. And then finally, the non-recourse lender said, okay, you know what? So we've done all this. Now let us go ahead and finalize the numbers for you, which was, I think, the month before the property was completed. And they came back and told me that. And then from that point, I was able to choose the numbers and which loan I wanted to go with. So yeah, it was a lot of hand-holding and a lot of making sure that everybody's on the same page for it. But it worked out. So it was, I guess it's better to know more people through all of this than, to just kind of go with one person and hope everything goes correctly. So.
Yeah, exactly. Very good, very good. And then, of course, you got your property rented out very quickly upon you close escrow, and the rent was very nice, $1,650 rent. And when you, at the end of the day, your gross rent minus your taxes, insurance, and the monthly mortgage on that non-recourse loan, you said you put 50% down payment. So your monthly net cash flow is pretty high. I mean, I have to suspect that, right?
Yeah, I think the net cash flow is, let's see, 16. is probably about 800 a month, probably when everything is said and done. So, because with the non-recourse loan, they also take certain payments like the taxes and things like that, and they put it into like an account for you also. So they're taking care of all of that and any other, what if kind of possibilities. So they take a little bit more out. But yeah, still, even with that, I think it's about 800 cash positive every month. So
yeah. The key is that $800 of monthly net cash flow is going back into the IRA, tax deferral. You
yes.
don't pay any taxes on the rental income, on your cash flow. Is it amazing?
Yes, that's awesome.